What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Murph, and today we're here to do some Star Wars. This ain't Star Wars. This is Lord of the Rings. Here's the Middle Earth. Here to show you guys my main account. As I said in my last video I did on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, I actually decided to get off my ass and bought a lightning adapter. So now we can go ahead and we can check out everything I've got going in all of my other games on my main accounts. Bringing content from both kind of like the not pay to win because I'm not a whale. I'm not even a dolphin. I've spent a little bit of money on the game, but basically, so I can show you kind of how I actually play the game and how I like to play my free to play accounts for fun on the side. So without further ado, let's hop into it. I haven't done anything on this account yet today. We've got I spent most of the morning setting up my OBS and doing a little work on the channel, doing a little work on my my computer setup itself, making sure I had everything ready to rock. I've been gone on vacation for about the last week and wanted to come back, hit the ground running. So forgive me. We're gonna be playing a little bit of catch up with all of our dailies here, so you'll kind of get to see how I go through and do all my dailies. But usually start off, go through, check anything in the inbox, and go ahead and pop open our free shard chest to get that cooldown rolling so that we can get as many of those for free throughout the day as we can. Next up, we're going to go ahead and just double check the supply shop. Now, on this account, what I'm currently doing with my guild currencies, I'm buying out all of the rare crystals, the blue crystals, whether it's shadow or light, do not care. Also purchasing all of the ability materials, and if I have enough left over afterwards, I will go ahead and buy the shadow crystal fragments as well, the level 3 fragments, the epic ones. But right now, we've got a decent amount of those saved up and no way to spend them, so they're kind of like the very back of the line right now for our priority. Now on this account, I am actually building Bolg and the Misty Mountain Orcs. As far as the arena shop goes, I've already got Eomer to the equivalent of 5 stars. I just haven't dumped a gold into ranking him up to there. I'm currently working on getting Shagrat there. We're almost there. Once we're there, we'll probably farm Golbers up to 5 stars as well. We do not have enough shard shop currency, or shard shop income rather, in order to purchase anything, so we're really not focusing on anything there. Now, in the guild campaign, what I'm currently doing is I am just farming out the highest level, the chapter 5 difficulty every day right now, just to make sure for 2 things. Number 1, I'm making sure that we're getting as much gold income as possible, and number 2, we're getting as much rare ability material income as possible, because that is really what's going to make or break your teams and your characters in the end game right now. Essentially, I was focused on, I'll show you in a second here, I was really focused on building up Elro here and farming him out, and it took me basically the amount of time it took me to farm him out and to farm other characters out of the guild campaign up, the rest of my team's ability material levels really started to hurt, and I really didn't start actually progressing in the arena until I was able to get those ability levels up to the later amounts. Obviously, you can see here, Elro here is almost 5s across the board with a 6. Arwen and Elrond need a little bit of attention still. Eladin, we've got pretty decent investment into. Obviously, Ancient Skill here is going to be like the first one you want to level 6, but I'll show you guys real quick kind of where I'm at. So where I started on this account, I really started early on just doing the same thing everybody else did and building Rohan. So as far as Rohan went, I stopped him at about level 4, or I stopped him at level 41, actually, you can see. But I had Eomer to gear 6, I had Eothane to gear 5, I didn't invest into Eldred, but I did purchase him using crystals, because on this account, I'm really trying to focus on making sure I get everybody unlocked. And Eowyn, I stopped at gear 5 as well. So once I stopped them, I pivoted over to the Rangers. Let's see here. So Rangers, and you know that on my free-to-play account that we've been following on this channel, I built Rangers on that account as well. This account, I went a little harder on them, and a little bit later. So I was still farming out Halbrad for quite a long time, as well as Miri, who I have to 5 stars, or the equivalent of 5 stars. Have not pulled the trigger on that credit promotion yet, because there's better things for me to spend it on. Same thing with Strider as well. And then obviously the twins, I've got both of them at gear 8. And the reason was because I built them first so I could transition into Elrond. However, I did end up buying both Eladin and Arwen up enough so that I could unlock Elrond And as you can see, this is my current Rivendell Elves team. Now, I'm a bit on the fence in the kind of like mid to near future on if I want to go into Lomion or not, and that's only because when it comes to the raid, I currently only have 4 of these characters built. I'm going to want to run Lomion with this team because the reason I haven't invested in Lomion yet is I've been running Ironhide on my arena team. But obviously, when it comes to the raid, you want to put Ironhide with the rest of the Mordor Orcs, and you want to put Lomion with the rest of the Rivendell Elves, so you can maintain the integrity of these full team synergies, even if that's not kind of the meta for the arena at the time. Now, I focus on getting Eladin to gear 8 first because he's the biggest tank on this team right now. He's the only tank on this team. And he actually deals a good amount of damage, and once you get his abilities up, and you get that nimble rolling, you get the self-heals rolling, as well as you get his AoE to ability level 6, and you can just continuously AoE. He becomes a serious problem. And Elro here deals so much damage and counterattack damage, as well as with his team up ability and his armor down, or is exposed, I believe it's called. I decided to get him up to gear 8 as my second character, and also since he is probably the easiest character to farm on this team, that was the other reason why I really wanted to focus on him. And now what we're focusing on for our light characters, we're focusing on getting Elrond's gear up. I'm not sure that I really want to invest gear into Arwen, as she really doesn't seem that important for the team. Realistically, all she's really there for is for dispels, so buff dispels on the enemy team, as well as debuff cleanses on your own team. Aside from that, she's really not all that useful on the team, in my opinion at least. I really feel like she could be swapped out. Lomion is some really solid single target damage, but it's not required for anything outside of, I'm sure he's going to have some use in the raids once they come out. Now, on the shadow side of the house, where I started off with our Isengard, as you can see. I built Ugluk and Mauher and, did not mean to open him up, as well as Dunhar. And then I also built Ironhide. So with those 4, I was also running Nuraz from the get-go, just because I thought that second summon for the troll was really, really slick. And what I've actually started transitioning to in the last month or so that I've been enjoying, but have had a tough time finding the resources to really invest in them because so much has gone into my Rivendell team, is I have actually been focusing specifically on my Misty Mountain Orcs. So I've been farming Bolg. He is the only one that I'm farming out of the Elite store. I forget what it's called. The Challenge store, I guess, maybe. He's the only one I've been focusing out of there. Nuraz is a very easy everyday farm. Have not obviously dumped a whole lot into this team yet, but this is what I'm building for my shadow team right now. Gruher obviously is going to be tough to farm considering he is still a pay-to-play farm with crystals only. And honestly, so my 4th character on this team is going to be Tordok. However, his node is so deep in the shadow team that I'm going to have to invest in other shadow characters first in order to even get there, in order to punch my ticket to the game in the first place. But aside from that, I really haven't decided who else I want to run on this team. I'm kind of leaning towards Golbers just because he's right there and he's an easy farm. But the jury is still out on that one. I'm going to go ahead and run through kind of some more of my dailies real quick. As you can see, we've got our shadow crystals maxed out for the challenge. Our light crystals are not quite maxed out, but that's okay. I really don't mind and don't plan to invest in any humans anytime soon in order to push that. The rest of these challenges were fairly close to maxed out. If not, the abilities we're still struggling with. I'll go ahead and do that probably offline afterwards because I don't want to sit here and manually play through all that. And honestly, I need to get off my ass and finish off this battle experience challenge. Now, every day, I am making sure I have enough crystals to do 3 by 50 refreshes of the regular energy. And that is important because that's where you're going to be getting most of your crystal farms. So my kind of daily ritual right now is I'm still going through and I'm actively farming my elves so that I can hopefully get a 6-star Elrond by the time he comes back around next time. So I'm still farming Leliel and Lomion every single day. Nope, we are not refreshing that. And then obviously Naramiri is going to come into the picture at some point soon. We're going to have to transition our guild farms into him, but that's going to be a very, very quick and easy thing to do. And I'm not really too worried about focusing on that just yet. I'll probably give it another month or so, or maybe even when they announce the event is coming back, then I'll pivot and focus on that. But there's really no sense in me gimping both my gold income and my ability material income in order to push Naramiri now when there's no need for it. We could basically farm out more gold, more ability materials, and build our teams out better. So let's go ahead. We'll level Arwen up 1 level, and that will kind of put us at our challenge for the day for leveling. That is all the leveling we're going to do. That is it. No more. I farmed out Nuraz, Lomion, and Leliel, and those are all of our normal campaign farms that we're doing right this second. On some days, I have been going over and actually farming out Yef2. I guess we can go ahead and do that today. And that's really just to make sure that we have our Haradrim already farmed out. But ultimately, if the data mines do come anytime soon, and we do require 5 Haradrim for the Witch King, 2 of those characters are going to be marquee releases, and I just don't really see myself dumping, $100 per character just to get the Witch King unlocked on the first go around. I was willing to do that with Elrond because I do love Eldon and Elro here in the books, the Great Company. I'm a really big fan of that faction and that whole the group, including Halbrand, which unfortunately is going to fall by the wayside. But I was really okay with focusing that money on those characters because I like them. And number 2, it also kind of gave me a bit of a leg up to begin with, a jumping off point to build my account around. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hop into Elrond here, and let's just go ahead and see where we're at. I believe we should be able to throw this piece of gear on today, right? Yeah, we should. Let's go ahead and craft the Sacred Herb. Go ahead and grab. We need 1 more light crystal, so this will be an easy grab. Let's go ahead and grab it here. Boom. And then we do need 2 more Focus Essence, which I don't have a whole lot of issues with putting gold out there for these kind of side filler pieces. If we can go ahead and claim some objectives, we should get some energy back here in order to put back into our farm. God, this is just moving light years ahead of BlueStacks. It's still not moving all that fast on the old phone, but at least it's moving much faster, much clearer than BlueStacks. Okay, let's hop back in. Let's finish off this piece of gear for Elrond. Go ahead and dump. Are any of these characters? No, they're not. Okay. Go ahead and grab that. If that didn't work, I guess we gotta dump that into it too. Perfect. All right, we're done. Let's equip this to Elrond and move on with our lives. That's plus 300 health. That is awesome. He heals based off of his health, and additionally has a multiplier that gives you bonus health based off how much health you have. So it's pretty slick. So yeah, we're currently working on this. On this account, we're working on our Rivendell elves. We are still focusing on leveling up our elves until we hit level 60. We will be doing that. We will be gearing up Lord Elrond to gear 8. We are currently at gear 6, so we've got 1 and some change gear tiers to go. And then we are also focusing on Bolg and our Shadow team as well. Let's see here. What can we do with this? Can we do anything? No, not really. Well, I mean, yeah, we can afford that. Screw it. Who cares? Nothing matters. And we gotta grab our Bolg shards as well. And we'll have enough for Bolg tomorrow as well. Sweet. That could be enough to put it on Bolg. Not quite, but almost. We need to farm Onyx. Okay, so this is what I'll be focusing my refresh on in 45 minutes or so once that refresh comes up. And then let's go ahead and hop in the arena real quick, and we'll knock out one of our arena battles as well. I like to go ahead and get at least one of those out as early as possible, and I like my odds against this team, quite frankly. Let's go ahead and do that. Nothing like a little caffeine. One thing I've been thinking about doing, and you guys let me know what you think. I've been thinking about going ahead and doing like a Sunday morning coffee or Saturday morning coffee, where essentially I'll just log on first thing in the morning, kind of while I'm going through all my different accounts, doing all my dailies. I could like live stream it, hang out with you guys, and drink some caffeine and just bullshit and talk. If that's something you guys are interested in, let me know, and I'll see if I can schedule something for like this weekend, next weekend. We'll just do a recurring thing. But Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle Earth, both, like all of that, just kind of live streaming on YouTube and just kicking back, hanging out. That would be the plan, at least. So, all right, we're about to get rolling with Eldon here. We just got through their Eldon's taunts, so now what we can go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and dispel, Gonna take some AoE damage here, and we're gonna start dumping some damage into Elrond. Hopefully we can get through this before another taunt round goes up on Eladin. It's not very likely, but this is why we have Elro here geared up as high as we do. This is why we have Eladin's ability maxed out, so we can keep spamming this AoE and just keep throwing damage on him, and this is going to be huge. We get the Elrond ultimate before they do, which means that's not going to mean too much, actually. But, alright, we've gone ahead and we have procced, what is the buff called? We went ahead and procced Unbreakable. Once Elrond hits a certain tier of health, he gets Unbreakable, which means you have to essentially kill him 3 times before you kill him. So now it's all about dropping his health back down to 0 and getting rid of those Unbreakable stacks. And this is going to be good. That should grab one of them the next hit. Oh, and we got a Dispel with it. Sweet. If we can get Elrond here, that's going to be all she wrote. And we do. Wonderful. So now that their Elrond is down and our Elrond is still up, this is game over. It's just a matter of time. We're going to go ahead and focus down this Eladin as fast as we can, just to make sure that we don't have to walk around or hit around any sort of taunt walls. Like right now, if we're trying to focus Strider or Arwen, we would have to be trying to break down this taunt wall first and then swapping back over. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go straight for Eladin and take him out. And the best thing about our Eladin's ability rank 6 for the AoE is that even though we are focusing on their Eladin right now, we can still dump, like, not massive, but a very consistent amount of AoE damage into all the rest of the team. And we can go ahead and just keep rolling through the rest of this. So there's a little more. Arwen's down now. And we're looking good. Really, my thing right now at the arena is where my team is at. I don't have a problem getting wins. I have a problem with holding. So like I can climb, but I keep getting knocked back down is the problem. Whereas beforehand I couldn't even climb. So I think what is going to really pull this team off is more ability material investment into Elrond and just more investment in general into Elrond, because once we get this heal up a little bit, we're going to be able to apply regeneration. We're going to be able to regen some stamina off the ability as well as where are we at down here, like additional healing, additional counterattack. And I think once we hit 60, because we ended up actually buying and completing like the last tier of the marquees for both Arwen and Eladin, I'm wondering what the ability material investment is for us to max out this leadership ability, because it was only 10 for the last round, and if it's 10 again, I should have enough to max it out. So that will be really fucking cool. But let's go ahead and hop back in here. We don't have any ability materials for our elves we can throw on there just yet. So that might be it for the video for now. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you go ahead and like the video, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are working on in Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. What are some things you would like to see now that I've got access to really 3 separate Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth accounts and 3 separate Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes accounts, and I'm kind of all playing at once. I can kind of show you guys a lot of different teams that I have been playing with and working on, and kind of give you guys a general overview of it, which I'm pretty excited about. So that'll do it for me. Ooh, actually, you know what? We got enough crystals back to go ahead and do one more refresh. So let's go ahead and hit this, and we should be able to hopefully get this next piece of gear on Bolg. Let's see. Come on, baby. 2 out of 3 ain't gonna do it. Come on, come on. Nope, 4 out of 3. All right, or 4 out of 6 rather. That's fine. All right, we should be able to finish this off in 40 minutes once this is over. I'm signing out. I'll catch you guys later.